Rather lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. You've been asking, where is Cossy? Cossy is back. The Arsenal Transfer News Show is also back. And of course, a brand new episode live on your YouTube. I don't know, phone, laptop, television screen, wherever you are watching from and whichever device you're using. I'm absolutely very, very grateful. Today, we're going to be talking Rafinha, Arsenal revamping. Actually, Arsenal stepping up their interest in Rafinha, but Tottenham Hotspur is in the race as well. Youri Tielemans, there is an agreement on personal terms, according to the Athletic. Their special reporter and writer for Athletic Matters for Leicester City, for Leicester City Matters from the Athletic, has actually come out and confirmed that a move is on the card, is happening. It is Arsenal. However, we will wait and see when a bid is going to be made, because it is confirmed that Leicester City have received signals that that bid is incoming in this week. Bissouma to Tottenham Hotspur, guys. What can I say? I thought it was coming to Arsenal. The war talks, there was a lot of hope there. Of course, Fabrizio Romano saying that Arsenal looking at both of them, Tielemans and Bissouma, but he said Youri Tielemans is the priority. Bissouma would have been the backup. Looks like Tielemans will be moving to Arsenal and Bissouma to Tottenham Hotspur. That hurts. That absolutely hurts. But we'll talk about that as well. Again, Lucas Kamaka, another player that Arsenal will not be signing if the deal to PSG moves through. I'll feed you. I'll feed you into that. Christopher Nkunku, there is a feeling that Arsenal will try to bid for the player, at least an opening bid to see and try to test the waters. But with Christopher Nkunku, like I said, it's a difficult one. We'll talk about it. Although Man United are facing competition from Arsenal for Portuguese midfielder at Porto. The name is Vitinha. 35 million euros for is his release clause. I really don't understand, if a player has a 35 million euro release clause, then what is the point in having a bidding war? But we'll talk about that. And lastly, Lucas Torreira has confirmed that he will be leaving Fiorentina, coming back to Arsenal. The messages are hurting, but we can hope, and we only hope, that he actually finds a better place to play football, where he feels appreciated and where he feels loved. Do smash a like on the video for me. Subscribe to the channel. Let's get this video to 500 likes. Please and please, let's get that done, because this is the show where I'm really back. I'm planning on building my new studio. It might take some time. It might come out. I wanted it to come out before the beginning of the season, but if I'm going to do that, then I will need some fundraising. I will need some help. I'll talk to you lads if when I complete the budget and everything. But we should be able to have a studio by the time we begin the season. That is what I'm working on. Let's get the party started. Hit the like button if you've not subscribed to the channel as well, because we're very close to 41,000 subscribers on the podcast. Now, let's start off with Rafinha. More reports today have indicated that Rafinha's deal to Barcelona will not happen. Barca cannot fund the move. I've told you all the details about that. The 55 million euros that Leeds United are asking for upfront, that there is no way back are going to finance such a move with such a structure. So Arsenal are raising their interest in Rafinha. There are now two clubs in the race. Tottenham Hotspur have also joined us in that one. The feeling is that the player could choose Arsenal over Tottenham Hotspur. There are no guarantees on that one. Of course, his heart is set on Barcelona. That is where he wants to play his football next season. Personal terms agreed since February, but if he doesn't go to Barca, he's told Leicester City, you can let me go, you should let me go, and I'll be very, very glad to join a new club. So staying in the Premier League is one of the options. Two clubs are interested, Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham Hotspur are also tracking very, very closely the move of Richarlison. However, it looks like it might not happen this summer. Tottenham do not want to pay 60 million euros for Richarlison, and Everton feel the price should be even above 60 million euros. So Arsenal's interest in Rafinha is steadily and genuinely growing. From Fabrizio, reporting, of course, that the club is interested in Rafinha since February. Now, Arsenal trying to, kind of, increase their interest in the player. Now, I do not understand whether Arsenal are very, very close to bidding in, or we will wait for Nicola Pepe to leave the club. That is one of the questions that we have to answer on this one, but we will wait and see. There is competition from Tottenham Hotspur, Barcelona, according to reliable reports, especially The Athletic, confirming that this one might be a very, very hard one for them to do. Of course, there is no question on Rafinha's quality. He improves Arsenal. He improves any side that he goes into after signing in, Ivan Perisic, and also they have Son and Kulusevski. I don't see Rafinha as a player who said that he wants game time. His priority is to find game time. I don't see him going to Tottenham Hotspur. He wouldn't be a starter there. Look, I think he might be that good for Antonio Conte. He's an Antonio Conte player, very, very good at holding the width of the pitch and stretching the length of the pitch. He's so good at that. But does he fit into that caliber of a player who wants to come at Spurs and sit on the bench, wait for Kulusevski or Son? I don't see him as that kind of player. So Arsenal, again, in that one, having the upper hand, but still no bid, still no contact with the player. His heart is in Barcelona, and it will first need to have that deal collapse in his eyes for him to move on. But of course, he's told Leeds United, I'm going to be moving on. Youri Tielemans, The Athletic, have actually given us another update. They've been very, very consistent in doing this. This time, it is not from one of their very best, but of course it is also coming in from one of their best. I think it is better to pick this story from Rob Turner, writing for The Athletic. If you read his profile on Twitter, writing for The Athletic, covering Leicester City, and he's also the writer of the best-selling book 5,000 minus 1, the Leicester City story, right? So make sure you do check it out. Make sure you check it out on Twitter. It's already there on Twitter, and of course, writing for The Athletic. You can find that. I think many of you are not actually subscribed to The Athletic, so it's very, very difficult for you to read their stories because you have to pay at least £1 per. I think it's £1 per month, right? Is it £1 per year? £1 per month? I think it's £1 per month, £12 per year. But what you can do is you can check out the Twitter handle of Rob Turner, writer at The Athletic, covering Leicester City. So this is what he has said. He said, look, we expect a move for Youri Tielemans very, very soon. He said, the feeling at Leicester City is that a bid will be incoming from Arsenal, and Tielemans has already agreed and confirmed that he will be moving and going there. So as long as a fee is acceptable, it should be a straightforward deal to conclude. At Rob Turner, The Athletic, of course, writing and covering Leicester City, Leicester City matters. And look, with Youri Tielemans, what I'm going to add here is personal terms not expected to be a problem. Personal terms not expected. We've already talked to the interest of the player. We've already talked to his camp, and we've always kept, according to Fabrizio, we've kept contact and negotiations with the players' camp very, very warm. They expect us to make an opening bid. They expect us to make an opening offer for the player. Arsenal will be doing that, according to Rob Turner. That is going to be coming in very, very soon. So, look, like I said yesterday, this one is 78% on Arsenal player. This is 78% done. I don't see how anything is gonna change. The player was asked as well about the Arsenal project and why he would love to come to the club and change clubs this summer. And he said, look, the moment you have an interesting project on your hands, the moment you're offered an interesting project, you want to make a change. You don't want to make a change because there is only a need to make a change, but you want to make a change because there is an interesting project that has been offered on the table. So Rob Turner, big update. We expect a bid coming in personal terms for Youri Tielemans. That is almost great. So with Youri Tielemans, lads, I'm gonna say, let's call that now 80%. I was at 78% yesterday. Youri Tielemans, we are going to 80%. Gabriel Jesus, surprisingly, I do not have a huge story around him. Arsenal is still very, very confident of Gabriel Jesus, that deal is going to be completed by Arsenal very, very soon. So I don't have any new thing about Gabriel Jesus unless, something breaks out today or otherwise. But at least with Youri Tielemans, I'm moving to 80%. With Gabriel Jesus, I'm at 88%, right? Those are the two percentages that I'm still holding out in the window. Now, one of my percentages in the window has been absolutely demolished and crushed. Yves Bissouma has agreed a £25 million switch to Tottenham Hotspur. That deal is almost done. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that. The Times, the Standard, the Athletic, every sensible outlet have also confirmed that Yves Bissouma is going to be a new player for Antonio Conte. According to Fabrizio, Antonio Conte wanted to sign a new midfielder this summer. They looked at a couple of options out there and they decided that Yves Bissouma, 25, for fuck's sake, 25 million. That is a bargain. That is, and look, I said it. I think it's not even a week ago. It's not even a week ago that the move for Youri Tielemans shouldn't be blocking Arsenal from getting Yves Bissouma. Both of them could cost Arsenal only 50 million euros. They could have cost Arsenal only 50 million. Only 50 million pounds. Only 50. Bissouma's contract is running down in 2023, and Tielemans' contract is running down in 2023 as well. Get those two, and you've sorted out the midfield issue for years and years and years. As the likes of Lokonga develop, as the likes of Mohamed El Neni find their way out of the club, you have Bissouma, you have Youri Tielemans, and the midfield is absolutely and completely covered. So, but according to Fabrizio, he made it very clear. He said Arsenal's interest in Yves Bissouma is genuine. However, they will only go for Bissouma if they do not get Youri Tielemans. Something that absolutely made no sense for me. Look, I love Fabrizio, and I think he's he's my best journalist when it comes to transfers. But that doesn't make doesn't make any sense. Youri Tielemans is coming in this summer to play and operate as a left attacking midfielder. A left central midfielder. That is where he's going to play. On the right is Odegaard, and on the left is going to be Youri Tielemans. I don't see how Bissouma's move is then, linked to Youri Tielemans. It should not be linked to Youri Tielemans. And if it's true, then, Edu, Mikel Arteta, they're absolute fools. Because for me, Bissouma coming in at Arsenal, even at Spurs, he might not be a guaranteed starter. He might not come in. He might not go to Spurs and start every game. They already have Pierre Imhoy back. They have Rodrigo Bentancur. What they need at the moment is a creative midfielder. And the fact that they've signed in Yves Bissouma, a player that I know can play as a single pivot, and that is what Antonio Conte is looking for: energy, drive, ball control, midfield control. A tackler, a physical threat in the midfield. And I think it's just got him. I think they will go for someone like Christian Eriksen. They will go for someone Lucas Paqueta. They need that creative drive in the midfield, someone to feed the three up top, Son, Kulusevski and Kane. They need someone to do that. Of course, more creativity is going to be coming in from their wingers. Ivan Perisic will be playing as a wing back, and probably and anyone that Antonio Conte wishes. But Arsenal not getting Yves Bissouma this summer, that is the worst piece of news that has happened to me already. It's the worst because it's a bargain, 25 million euros, and you're looking at a player who absolutely, he might not be better than Thomas Partey, but in many aspects, he's better than him. He's been better than him in many aspects last season, especially if you look at the statistics. We compare the two players when we were talking about Bissouma joining Arsenal and how Arsenal would set up with Yves Bissouma. We compared the two players, and now Spurs have just got the deal done. Another deal that Arsenal have been pushed out of is the Gianluca Scamacca deal. It looks like Scamacca will be joining PSG, not Arsenal. Now, Paris Saint-Germain are offering double the price that Arsenal are offering Sassuolo. Now, one thing I don't understand with Arsenal, and this happens every market, Scamacca has been valued at 45 mil minimum. Arsenal's initial offer was 25 million, which means that Arsenal offered 20 million less. There is no way you're going to get, there is no way you're going to get this quality, this quality of players. And when I said that, Kroenke is holding our funds, many people said, "Oh, Cossy, what are you saying?" You're saying, this is what I'm talking about. These players, these deals, Mikel Arteta has pointed to them. He's told them that these are the deals I want, these are the players I want, but they've decided we won't sign them. And now PSG are paying 50 million for Gianluca Scamacca. 50 million is a bargain. We should be spending 100 million on that forward line. 50 million for Gianluca Scamacca and 50 million on Gabriel Jesus, and get that done, and just forget about it, and then spend 50 million on the midfield, and then get that done, and then we move on. We get into preseason. Starts on players are coming back on the 27th of this month. Players that are not involved with international duty, and we get that. We move on, but the deals have started walking away slowly, and I won't be very surprised, even with the deals that I feel Arsenal are 80% leading, if they start sliding away. Now, lastly, I'll talk about Vitinha, and then the rest we'll talk about in the upcoming transfer episodes. Arsenal are reportedly battling for Portuguese midfielder at FC Porto with Manchester United, Vitinha. Now, the player plays as the central midfielder, as a defensive midfielder. This campaign, he's played 41 games in the last campaign, 41 games as a defensive midfielder. And I think he's played 5 as an attacking midfielder. He's also played as a left central midfielder around 3 times. Man United desperately need someone like that. Arsenal would want someone like that to cover for Thomas Partey. But he has a release clause. So I don't understand where the stories claiming that we are in a bidding war, we are in a huge transfer race for the player are coming from. Any club that can trigger his release clause and agree personal terms gets him. So Vitinha is available. I think he might be going to Manchester United. I don't know the depth of that deal on the Manchester United side, but what I know is Arsenal are reportedly interested, and I've not seen any routes go deeper than that. My name is Cossy. Hit the like button for me, subscribe to the channel, and I'll speak to you in the next one.